That's their business.
Our time has passed, John.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? My name is Zach, but you guys can call me Hazardous. Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel, and welcome back to another Red Dead Redemption 2 video here on the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and thank you so much for all your support on the channel recently. We've gained almost 100 subscribers today. We did 2 live streams. We live streamed for 4 hours, and that was absolutely amazing. So thank you guys so much. Today's video is going to be episode 2 of our Red Dead Redemption 2 character series I upload here on the channel. Last week, I covered the Dutch van der Linde gang as a whole, but today we will be focusing specifically on Dutch van der Linde himself. I put up a poll on my last video asking you guys to vote on who should be featured next week, and the choices were Dutch, Bill Williamson, and Javier Escuela, and Dutch van der Linde received the most votes, so I'm making the video on him today. But we also have more information on other characters in Red Dead Redemption 2, including Sadie Adler, Sean McGuire, and Charles Smith, so I will include their names in the poll attached to this video in the top right hand corner. If you guys could do me a huge favor and vote in that poll, it would be a great help and will help me better understand which character you want to see in our next Red Dead Redemption 2 characters video series. I want to get started on this video though, so drop a like if you guys enjoyed today's video and found the information helpful, as well as if you are new to the channel and enjoy all this daily Red Dead Redemption 2 content, including videos and live streams. Feel free to subscribe. Also, don't forget, if you want to win an Ultimate Edition copy of Red Dead Redemption 2, then be sure to enter the giveaway. The links and rules to enter are down in the description, as well as if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter at HazardousHDTV so I can talk with you guys in real time over on there. I tweet out when all my videos and live streams are going live on YouTube, so you can be there and be the first one to watch. But without further ado, let's just jump right into this. So like I said, we're talking about Dutch van der Linde today, and he first appeared as a primary antagonist in the 2010 video game Red Dead Redemption and returns in an unknown capacity in Red Dead Redemption 2. As a legendary outlaw, Dutch is opposed by the authorities and rival gangs. So before we get into this, we're going to talk about some meta information. We have 3 things to talk about here. Dutch van der Linde is voiced by Benjamin Brian Davis, who's an American actor and director, and Dutch is not the character's legal name. However, no official media references his actual given name. And the third piece of meta information you guys should know is that in Red Dead Redemption, Dutch can be seen carrying the semi-automatic pistol and the cattleman revolver. Now we're going to talk about some history of Dutch van der Linde himself. Dutch van der Linde's date of birth is unknown and his age is never referenced. However, he looks to be in his late 60s in 1911. Dutch was the founder and head of the van der Linde gang, a notorious group of outlaws who operated out of West Elizabeth, one of the 3 states appearing in Red Dead Redemption before disbanding, and later he would found a second gang primarily staffed by Native Americans hostile to the colonists. Prior to the events of Red Dead Redemption, Dutch is associated with Arthur Morgan and an unnamed Native American outlaw. At various points prior to the disbanding of the first gang, members included John Marston, Abigail Marston, Javier Escuela, and Bill Williamson. Initially, Dutch was an idealistic renegade operating on the fringes of society, breaking the law while following his own moral code, and his initial persona lines up almost completely with generic Robin Hood fable, as he was an anti-government militant stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, opposing governmental oversight and control, fighting for ideals of liberty and independence, and using these tenets to justify his many crimes, including thievery, burglary, and murder. He saw himself and his gang members as warriors of the people, gunslingers sticking it to the man, so to say, and he also believed in an anarchist utopia and that the actions of his gang would make the world a better place in the long run, using ends to justify means. However, the opposite of this vision was becoming reality right before his eyes. Increased government oversight and the influx of new technologies were killing the typical frontier way of life that has existed in the Wild West for an era, and with the long-term goal clearly impossible to achieve, the atrocities Dutch committed in the name of this better world became just that. atrocities. This hopelessness and confrontation with his own deeds disheartened the gang leader profoundly. He drowned his sadness in further crime, masking it with growing outbursts of violence no longer restricted by his former moral code. This devolution from an idealist faux revolutionary into an everyday outlaw thug also affected those who followed him. The members of Dutch's gang joined the outlaw precisely because of his attractive vision of the future and his mission, and seeing him abandon it out of hopelessness also disheartened them. Following a botched botched robbery in 1906 in which John Marston was wounded and left for dead by the other gang members, Dutch's increasing violence pushed the members apart until the group was disbanded. Dutch faked his death and disappeared, possibly going to Colombia, and unbeknownst to the people living in West Elizabeth, Dutch survived, and after a few years in hiding, he found a new gang, mainly comprised of Native Americans. Now I want to talk about Dutch van der Linde in the events in Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's currently unknown which periods of Dutch's life is depicted in Red Dead Redemption 2. However, a period during which his first gang was active, and he was associated with both Arthur Morgan and Bill Williamson, and will be an important part of the game's storyline. Whether the other gang members also appear is yet to be determined, and in the events of Red Dead Redemption, following the death of Bill Williamson at the hands of John Marston in Escalera, the former outlaw is sent after the leader of his old gang, Dutch van der Linde. Edgar Ross, the government agent assigned to John Marston, sent him after his former boss. John teamed up with a Native American double agent working with Dutch's new gang, as well as a professor named Harold McDougal, in order to track down Dutch, who is hiding out in Cochene, his mountain camp. And after John fights his way up to the hideout, he takes down one of Dutch's scouts and uses his binoculars to scope out the gang leader. He first witnesses Dutch killing a lawman, but John's position is given away because he saw through his binoculars that Dutch took aim at him, and the shot smashed the binoculars, but John got off with just a knockout. Operating on the knowledge that Dutch and his new gang are preparing for a bank robbery, John and a group of soldiers prepare an ambush for the outlaw, and their plan falls apart after the gang members' murders of civilians, and they fail to break through the gang's defenses initially, and even when they finally do, it's only achieved with Marston's help. John rushes forward to confront Dutch, but his former boss has taken an unnamed woman as a human shield, and when the opportunity for escape presents itself, he shoots the hostage and escapes. Following the botched mission, Marston meets Professor McDougal in the Blackwater Hotel to discuss their next move, but this time Dutch is on the offensive and surrounds the building with his posse, shouting to John that he will kill him and the professor for sport. The duo escape via rooftop, and John fends off pursuing gang members, escorting McDougal to the Manzanita Post train station, and later Ross sends Marston and the US Army to Dutch's hideout, where they wipe out his gang in a long battle. Eventually reaching Dutch, John and he confront one another in a final duel, which John wins, pushing Dutch back to a cliff. Here they converse about their conflict, and Dutch explains that he cannot change himself and defy his own nature, and tells John that they, the outlaws, believers of old values, are a dying breed, and he then jumps to his death, preferring that fate over capture. When Edgar Ross catches up to them, Dutch is already dead, but the agent takes John's gun and shoots the body. Since it was John's mission to hunt down his former gang, him killing Dutch would look better on the reports. So in some mission appearances in Red Dead Redemption, Dutch van der Linde appears at the mission At Home with Dutch, Great Men Are Not Always Wise, The Prodigal Son Returns to Yale, and The Truth Will Set You Free. In Red Dead Redemption, we don't know what missions he appears in yet, but we also have some trivia that I want to talk about Dutch van der Linde in context with. While Dutch's nationality is never brought up in the storyline, he has a strong Western American accent, and many references to him being from the Netherlands are made. However, it is never clear whether these are just done for fun, or if they indicate he is indeed Dutch in more than just name. Beyond his family name, van der Linde adhering to correct Dutch spelling where van and der are not capitalized, his orange outfit matches the national colors of the Netherlands. In the mission At Home with Dutch, the titular character pulls off a shot hat, considering whether the conditions and the weapon used should be statistically impossible. Not only does he spot John from a long distance, he shifts his full body to take aim in a split second and manages to hit John's binoculars from a very long range, shooting uphill in the wind. He does this with the very first shot from the short mid-range pistol. While the probability of something like this actually happening are astronomical, it was likely used to emphasize Dutch's proficiency with firearms. Dutch was also partially depicted as some kind of intellectual warrior in spite of his crimes, because he's often referred to as being learned, and following his death, the area of his hideout can be explored, revealing a small library and a desk with a typewriter, meaning he was interested in consuming and producing forms of literature. And lastly, in what may be a glitch, Dutch is seen with various different weapons during the course of the mission, and The Truth Will Set You Free, even though he doesn't have opportunities to switch them out. So that is everything you guys need to know about Dutch van der Linde, and that wraps up what I want to talk about in today's video. Let me know what you guys think about Dutch and the Dutch van der Linde gang down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the support and all the new subscribers recently. For now, drop a like if you guys enjoyed and found today's video helpful and the information helpful as well, and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and enjoy all this daily Red Dead Redemption 2 content. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at HazardousHDTV. My link is down in the description, and it's where I get to constantly keep in touch with a lot of you guys, so you definitely don't want to miss out on that. And also, be sure to enter my Red Dead Redemption 2 Ultimate Edition giveaway. The link with all the rules are down in the description, so you guys can enter. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Redemption 2 video. Adios, amigos.